Today we're talking with a true veteran of independent wrestling grind, a guy who's been proving people wrong for over 17 years and letting the world know he's told you so every step of the way. From the West Coast to the Midwest locker rooms, known by his name and fans known him by fire, this is Geno Itolduso Riviera, and today we're pulling back the curtain on the hustle and the heat and the mindset behind one of the most outspoken names in the game today.
It made me cry.
You like that?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Gino?
I couldn't be more happier. I'm excited. I don't really get excited anymore for things, but right now, if you look out there, this is my first time in Sturgis, and I feel like a kid right now, so I got the jitters. I'm like, let's go.
Yeah, Sturgis is a big event for you guys. I mean, there's hundreds and hundreds of people, thousands of people here from all over the world.
Yes.
From Germany, Alaska,
Somebody
Germany,
said
Canada. Yeah, we have people from every corner of the world here. So this is a great sequel on Below Zero Pro Wrestling here in Sturgis, South Dakota.
I got to sit on somebody's bike. I was literally on the phone, and I was like, I wonder if somebody will let me sit on their bike. And some guy goes, "Hi, what'd you say?" And I was like, I just wanted to sit on. He goes, "Come here, I'll let you sit on my bike." I got on the bike. He revved it a few times. I was like a little kid in a candy store. I was so happy. That made my day today. I am so happy.
That's awesome, Gino. Okay, let me start this off. What moment you realized you want to be a pro wrestler? When was this could be a career for you?
I know that my mom loved The Undertaker growing up, not growing up as a woman, and then for me growing up, and we would watch the videos, VHS tapes for the kids that don't know, but we had VHS tapes. She would take me to the store, and at times we wouldn't bring them back, so, because we wanted them, or we double record. Not trying to incriminate myself, but I was always a fan of wrestling from yay high, and I didn't know how to get into business, but I wanted to be a professional wrestler my entire life. I just knew it. But the one moment that it was like, okay, this is it. I was in LA, and I was gonna go watch a WWE, and I went to the Staples Center, and I crossed the street, and somebody gave me a flyer, and it was a bunch of men without shirts, and I was like, I don't want this. So I threw it on the ground. I went to WWE, came back out. They gave me another flyer, and it was the same one. I was like, dude, I don't want to go to this strip club or whatever. And they're like, it's pro wrestling. And I'm like, I was like a school? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, right then and there, I knew what I was going to do, when I was going to do it, how I was going to do it. 17 years later, I'm still here. Shout out and thank you to Santino Bros for doing that.
And also, I just saw a video of you for the first time. I just saw it today. You were in WWE video with LA Knight. You were playing a doctor. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. I thought, that's Gino. I thought, that's Gino.
Yes. I've been working with WWE every year since 2013. So there's little Easter eggs of Gino everywhere. Like with the New Day segment, with LA Knight, I've had matches there. I've wrestled Keith Lee. I've done a lot of good things with WWE. I'm so appreciative of them. Like, that's where I want to go. That's my heart. I don't want to be anywhere else but the WWE.
Yeah, WWE is where everyone wants to be. That's where you're going to make your career. I mean, now often people refer you yourself as the Frank Sinatra of pro wrestling. What does that mean to you?
It means that I am the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia. If you know who Frank Sinatra is, he was smooth, he was cool, he was popular, he had style, he had grace, he was powerful. And I feel the same way with me. But it didn't come from the person, actually. I was listening to a Fat Joe song, and he said, the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia. And I was like, I like that. No one's ever had that moniker. Everybody has the pit bull, and everybody has the monster, but nobody has the Frank Sinatra of the Spanish Mafia. And as a Puerto Rican professional wrestler representing mi gente, my people, I felt it was definitely something, of the Spanish Mafia. I am this guy of my people. So I loved it. I stuck with it.
You're right. I mean, I've never heard anyone ever say Frank Sinatra of pro wrestling. So you are the first, and I do like that.
Thank you.
It's kind of cool. All right, moving on. Instagram reel posted by Stu Wrestling Podcast, which I did watch. I love that podcast. Yeah. Speak glowingly of your friendship with Jacob Fatu. What's your friendship with him meant to you over the years?
I love Jacob Fatu. Before Jacob Fatu was really a big deal as he is now, shout out to Jacob Fatu, love you. But he came to my last match in California before I decided to move on to bigger and better things. And I couldn't understand it. I was like, what are you doing here? And he's like, I came to see you. And I'm like, you came to see me? Why? Like, you know, I was in the main event and he showed love ever since then. I worked with them in Knox Pro and he was so cool. And we're island boys. So it's like, we just got along, you know? And now when I see him at the WWE, this man literally wraps himself around me, picks me up, Gino, you know what I mean? And it's all love. So seeing him right now flourish the way he has, it really makes me happy because one of us made it. And if you understand what that means, the term one of us made it, it's real sentimental to see somebody from the streets like myself come up and just make it. You know what I mean? He's not a statistic. He's not dead. He's not in a gang. He's not in jail. He's not a deadbeat. He's a WWE superstar. One of the main ones on, you see what I did there?
Future champion.
You know, like, of course, a future champion. This guy's going to be running things. So Jacob Fatu is amazing. Now, instead of a friend, he's more of an inspiration to me now. So much love to you, Fatu.
Yeah, Jacob, you know, he's making many big moves right now.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, he's going with Roman and all and Solo. I mean, I'm glad to see Jacob on. When I first saw Jacob, I going, okay.
Yeah.
I going, start seeing his wrestling style. I go, he is blowing people's minds. He can do so many
He can do
things.
anything. He can do any, and that's not even the half of what Jacob Fatu can do. He can do so much more. He's still being held back, but I love him for it. He's doing what he's doing. It's amazing. Little Easter egg. I was supposed to wrestle Zepha, Solo Sikoa, before COVID, and things happened, and he got signed. So
No,
I needed that. I need that match, Solo. I love you, Solo. I love you.
One thing I like about Jacob, you know, he seemed like a fan. Like, I don't know if you watch a WWE Unreal series lately.
Yeah.
But he walked up to CM Punk, you know, that I love you, Punk, and he's like, I love you, Jacob.
Yeah.
He goes, I get a picture, 100%. I go,
Yes.
see him go like
Yes.
he's like a fan.
There-
But Boogeyman, we got
Boogie, I was just gonna say that.
That was like, you know, he's more of a, I think he's more of a fan than he's a wrestler, and that's what I love about him because he got the fan base.
We all are.
Inner fan.
We all are. We all are fans of wrestling. Anybody that's in wrestling loves wrestling to a certain point, and if they hide it, that's on them. But guys like Jacob, who never thought he'd be there, he's actually there, and now he gets to walk the halls with The Undertaker, Triple H, you know what I mean? Whoever, Seth Rollins, and now it's like, I used to watch these guys thinking I'd never be there. Now I'm here. Now they're my friend. Now I'm sitting and catering with them. Now I'm on the road with them. Can I get a picture? You know, I would do the same thing, you know?
Exactly.
So we're all fans at the end of the day.
Well, in the same video, you celebrate Jacob Fatu's incredible transformer and then struggles into WWE star. How proud are you to see his journey, especially with someone who watched him up close?
I can't even put into words how happy I am and how proud. You know, it's like I said, it's very inspirational, man.
Where the background he came from with his criminal background, it was kind of a tough call being WWE, and I'm glad WWE took the chance to give him the chance because he's proven everyone wrong that he is a great wrestler in the ring.
At the end of the day, it's about talent, and he has a lot of it, right? You know,
Well, look where he comes from. His whole family has
the whole
it.
family.
Everyone in it.
That's what it is. But also Puerto Rican wrestlers have it. You know, Carlito, right? Not Eddie, but Damian Priest.
Yeah.
Anybody Puerto Rican can wrestle. Anybody Samoan can wrestle. It's just a thing in our blood. Every single pay-per-view you see, you'll see a Puerto Rican flag somewhere in the crowd. We love wrestling. So do, you know, Samoans and anybody in the Pacific. But to go back to his background, it doesn't matter about his background. It's about the man coming from his background, learning from his mistakes and going, I'm going to change not only for society, but for my children. And I'm glad to see that he's done that. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other wrestlers doing the same thing. So I come from the gang culture. I come from the ghetto. I come from all that. And I don't have to be a product of that environment. I can move past that and pull my family, you know, out of that situation, which is what I'm trying to do. That's why I wrestle at the end of the day, is I'm trying to get to the WWE so I can pull my family out of a situation where they don't have to struggle anymore. And Jacob Fatu did that.
Yes, he's an inspirational story to every one of them. All of us are going to be inspiration. Gino, as someone who wrestled across countless promotions, what you take on our streaming platforms that change the game of independent pro wrestling?
What do I take on as far as
The streaming, our streaming has changed
Oh
the world of independent pro wrestling.
It's a little struggle. It's good and big. It's good and bad, because at the end of the day, wrestling is for everybody, and it's for people who don't have a lot of money and that need entertainment. And then now I just see that a big deal went down, and now it costs like over $600 a year to be a professional wrestling fan. A lot of people don't have that. Do I have an extra $600? I don't think so, right? And I'm an independent wrestler. So it's a toss-up. I love what it's doing for the industry, but for the people that are fans, it's going to be definitely hard.
Yeah. It's going to be give or take. It's going to have its trial and errors. It's going to fix itself. It's going to balance out. Right now, it's new. Everyone's trying to get on it. Every streaming platform wants wrestling on that platform. Yeah. So as time goes on, it will get cheaper. I
come from an era where wrestling was only on Mondays, and we are like, I go to school and I'm like, man, I can't wait for wrestling on Monday. Like, hurry up, Monday, get here. I was the only one excited for Mondays. Now there's wrestling every single day of my life. I cannot keep up with everything. People are like, did you see this? Did you see that? I'm like, no, I'll get to it. So yeah, I love that.
Yeah, exactly. When you first walked into the BCW show in North Dakota, what was the vibe like compared to other promotions you worked at?
I felt like people were just in awe of like being, just in front of me, and then like, who's this guy, whatever. But the vibe was very cool. You know what I mean? I'm from the West Coast, so coming in, it's different for me too. In every locker room you go to, situations are different. Wrestlers are different. Vibes are different. Egos are different. When I walked in, it was a very young crowd. And I felt like everybody wanted to learn, I'll never forget. I don't remember his name, but if he watches this was pretty funny. The first time I was in that locker room, I walked up, I shook hands with everybody, and one of the guy goes, "Are you an announcer?" And I said, "Yes, I'm an announcer. Nice to meet you." And I walked away. And I was one of the main guys on the flyer, front and center. So, I'll never forget that. That was really funny. I laughed about it. I still do today. I don't think he knows, but it's cool. It's a cool story.
That is a cool story. Yeah. It's kind of funny how some people mistake you for someone else.
Thought I was an announcer. Nobody can be Howard Finkel, not even me.
Now, I'm going to throw this in the question in there. How's your wrestling school going in Albuquerque? I've been hearing a lot off the ropes.
Gosh, yes.
How is that going? I want to ask you that. That's not even on my sheet yet.
Can I be honest?
Yes, be honest.
I'm having a tough time because I'm doing it by myself.
Oh, God.
I don't have 10 instructors helping me. I manage about 30 kids. 16 all the way to 42. So some of them are older than me, but they're my kids, my camp. And it's very hard because, I am shaping these people into professional wrestlers that they see and they want to be. And I never in a million years thought I'd be in this position as a teacher, as a coach, as a psychologist, as a therapist, and I'm doing all of that. I can tell you it's so much fun, but it's very stressful at the same time because I want these kids to succeed. I want them to be everything they've ever dreamed about, but I cannot force them. They can dream as big as they want, but they got to make it happen. And there's only so many people that are willing to walk that mile to make their dreams happen. I cannot force them. Another thing is you can't teach charisma. You can be the greatest wrestler in the world, but some people don't have it, and there's people that get it in 3 months, people that get it in 6 months. I have students that haven't gotten it for almost 2 years now. So it's really up to the student. I love what I do. I love my camp, and I love that everyone comes to me in the Southwest for talent because we are the #1 school in the Southwest, Off the Ropes Pro Wrestling. We are.
Yeah, I mean, when I was 19, I got into wrestling. Yeah. I trained in a small wrestling school, and I trained for like 6 months. And I was going, I want to do this, but I couldn't take the bumps no more. Yeah, and I wish my mind was strong like it is now, because if my strong mind was like it is now, I would have stuck it out and done it. But I gave up too early, and not a day gone by that I don't regret going, I gave up and I watched WWE going, oh my gosh, that could be me. I mean, I could be the next Seth Rollins. I could be the next Roman Reigns. I mean,
I have this saying that I say to my kids all the time, and I have to tell you this, because I do get the kids that are like, hey, this isn't for me. I can't take this. Or I thought I wanted to do this. I thought I loved it. I just don't. And I go, think about this, because my coach told me this. Joey Chaos of XPW said, Tina Bros. He said, the day that you walk away will be the day that somebody somewhere sometime will be looking for you. So why do you want to quit? What if the next Seth Rollins is right here? What if the next, I don't know, Barbie Blank, the next Nikki Bella is standing right here and you walk away? What if?
Yeah.
You don't want to live your life living on the other side of the guardrail going, that could have been me. What if it is you? And that usually changes their mind. They go, oh, okay, I'll give it another month. I don't know, we'll see. And I've saved a lot of lives in Albuquerque, New Mexico, because there's nothing to do out there. You could, they could be in gangs shooting up drugs and shooting up, whatever, neighborhoods. But they come to my school and they train. These are kids that get out of school, get out of work. You know what I mean? Some of them don't have either or, and this is all they have. And they train with me, and I love that. It makes me happy. So.
And sometimes wrestling could be a perfect medicine for people to get out of that gang life and get into something more constructive in their lives and turn their lives around and make something of themselves other than being in jail or dead.
I've saved people from suicide because this is all they had. And I've had students come up to me and goes, I don't want to live. I don't know what else to do. But when I try to, all I think about is, why don't I just go to practice? Why don't I go to training? And it takes them away from all that, from the little time that they have. For 4 hours, takes them away from all that struggle. And I love that, you know what I mean? So 4 days a week, you come train with Off the Ropes, we can take you out of your situation, make you into the wrestler that you want to be. And I love the fact that we have people there that love this more than anything, so.
Ren, you've been all over the country.
Yes.
How does North Dakota's wrestling scene, especially with below zero, compare to other places that you've performed at?
It's very competitive. It's a locker room that I have to be on my toes with, and kind of go, oh, who's that guy? What's that guy do? What's that guy up to? Everybody wants to shine. Everybody wants to be the best. And I have to sometimes go, hey, I am the best. And go, but I don't know. What about that guy? I got to prove myself. So it's a whole new locker room. I know what I can do on the West Coast. I know what I can do on the Southwest. But when I come here, I go, all right, put your working boots on. Let's show them what you got.
It's different styles, everywhere you go, you got to put on different hats, and that's what makes, I think, wrestlers great, because they can do different styles. They're not stuck in one style of wrestling. They can do everything. That's what I like, and that's what I like about Gino.
Yes, I can do anything.
Exactly.
I can get in there with a big guy, a small guy, midget, a woman, that guy screaming downtown. I can get in the ring with anybody. I can wrestle any style. Doesn't matter if you speak English. Doesn't matter if you're green, if you're a veteran, I can handle myself. And that's what I teach in my students, because my coaches, all 11 of them, taught me the same way.
That's awesome to know. Wrestling in North Dakota, we're not always a big, huge media spotlight. Does that make the passion more real or grind harder?
It makes the passion more real. It makes me grind harder because I want to be the guy that everybody talks about in North Dakota. I'm not from here, but I want to be the guy when they go, hey, who's in North Dakota? Gino Rivera is that guy. But he's not from here. Yeah, but Gino Rivera, when he's here, is that guy. I want to be that guy all the time. And I'm trying my hardest. And I'm actually going to do that here tonight. So when people think of, the Dakotas, they're going to think of Gino Rivera. That's what I want to accomplish.
That's awesome. I love that. Last question. What legacy do you hope to leave in Below Zero Wrestling and the greater industry?
I want people to know that I have sacrificed a lot to become a professional wrestler. I can't really get into a lot of it, but I've sacrificed a lot. And the thing I want to leave behind is that I just want people to say that I was a nice person. When it's my time, I look at Hulk Hogan's death recently, and there was a little bit of bad, a little bit of good, and I hope that the good outweighs the bad. I want people to say nice things about me to my children, to my family, to my fans, and kind of go, hey, that was a good guy. Look at Ozzy Osbourne, There wasn't really anything bad to say about him other than biting a bat. But, for the most part, that was a legendary death. And I want people to just push me out the same way, Ozzy Osbourne was out. Say some good things about me, play some good matches, play some funny things that I did in the ring, and just know that I respected this sport more than you'll ever know. I love this sport. I love teaching. I love wrestling. I love learning. I love the people in here, because you got to be a little crazy to do this. This isn't for everybody, but you got to be a little cuckoo to get in that ring and run around in spandex and hooker boots. It's what I love most, and I try to retire every single year, and I just can't. I try to retire this year, and I'm already dipping into next year's bookings, so it's like you know, it's like, when are you gonna actually leave? I don't know, but
So
you
you're
know,
saying
maybe one day.
your next Ric Flair that can't hang the boots up. You keep saying I'm gonna have one more.
I'm
85 years old, you're gonna have one more.
I'm trying, but that's what I'm, you know, that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully they have nice things to say about me. That's all I want in wrestling.
Awesome. No, this has been a pleasure, Gino. I want to thank you again. It's been an honor and a great pleasure.
We can't shake like this.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I got to do the Macho Man Hogan. Oh, yeah.
I see the lust in your eyes, Elizabeth.
All right, thank you, Gino.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this interview. There'll be more coming down ways, and hopefully we get Gino back on the podcast here in the future. All right, have a great day, guys.